Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Today's topic is obesity, weight management, and the drug Ozempic. I want to talk with you a little bit about the pros and the cons, the risk, and the possible benefits from using Ozempic. As usual, I really have no direct stance. I have no directive because I'm talking to all kinds of different people with different physiology, different psychology, and just different belief systems. So I don't think the right answer is to tell you yay or nay. I think the right answer is instead to break down some of the variables so you can take those in and add these into all the other things you already know about health and weight loss and drug use. So anyway, before we get into it, please like and subscribe. If you like the video, it's going to help more people see it. If you subscribe to the channel, it's going to help you see more of these videos. I've got one coming every single day on holistic health, wellness, lifestyle, fitness, all kinds of topics. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive into it. So Ozempic. Okay, well, this began as a drug for blood sugar management. That was really the initial purpose of the drug. And the idea was for people with type 2 diabetes or any kind of hyperglycemia. The idea was let's use this drug to bring those blood sugars down as close to normal as possible. Well, it stands to reason that when you do that, there's a good chance that since lowering those blood sugars is also going to help you manage your weight. That if you have adipose tissue or excess body fat, there's a good chance you're going to burn some of that off in the process. And so therefore now Ozempic is often considered more of a weight loss drug than anything else. And so the first thing I'd want to remind you all of is that when you're taking any medication at all, no matter how it's promoted, it's important to keep in mind what the facts are. The facts are your body is constantly trying to achieve homeostasis, right? That's what your body does. Your body is a big, vast series of regulatory processes that all have one real intention, and that's keeping you going, keeping you alive, and keeping you getting through your day effectively. And so think of your body as this series of messengers where everything going on in your body is constantly reacting to your environment and what you're doing. Your physiology changes based on whether you're exercising or if you're moving a little bit or if you're going through an emotional stress. So your body reacts to all of that. And it's used to all the internal communication going on because that's nature, right? That's what your body's meant to do, is to have all these regulatory processes. It's upregulating this and downregulating that and responding to this. And that's normal. However, when you take a drug like Ozempic, or really any drug, and you introduce that into the body, think about what's happening now. No matter how quote unquote safe any drug is, it's a foreign subject. It's something completely out of the realm of what the body is inherently designed to deal with. I think we can all agree on that. And so what's happening is you're getting this foreign agent into the body, and all of a sudden your body says, "Oh, wow, what are we supposed to do with this?" And now the body has to respond to it. And when you study a drug, in most cases, any FDA approved drug is going to find that overwhelmingly most bodies, according to their standards, can take this drug and for the most part handle it. The body can adjust to it as necessary, and you get it, right? So the body can generally deal with it pretty well, and you may have some side effects and some symptoms. I would suggest that you keep this in mind. Whether you see side effects, and there have been some horrible ones on Ozempic, right? I mean, there's people with digestive distress and really bad bowel movements, vomiting, and so many things. But regardless of whether you see something happening in you and you can notice it, I think it's important to know that deep down in your physiology, there is some serious disruption going on because, again, this is a foreign agent, and that is not an easy, normal, accessible thing for the body to take and immediately put to use. So just consider that and see how that works against your psychology and your belief system. I know plenty of people that just don't care. They just don't see life in a way that they really need to do everything all that naturally, and they just don't really find that to be much of an impedance. And I know other people who they cherish and feel about their bodies in a very different way. They value the organic nature of the human body, and they don't really want to put something that's that strange inside it. Now, granted, I know you can make some arguments for the fact that we're always breathing in different kinds of toxins and such outside, and that our natural environment is not so natural anymore, and that we're often eating food that's not completely natural. I understand, but the point is, when it comes to a medication, I would certainly put that in a different category. It certainly has a strong propensity to really thwart your body's day-to-day functionality. Okay, and we've seen that in a lot of people. Now, the other concern I have is that if you don't care about that, or if that's not really something that's going to be an obstacle for you, do consider that many people have been on this drug for months, and I mean months, and they don't see any side effects. And then in month 6, month 7, sometimes people report side effects. Now, you could, of course, say that I don't really know that those side effects are truly from that drug, that maybe I'd just be having these things anyway, and that's always a possibility. But certainly, I've seen enough stories out there where I think it does make sense, and clinically, it's logical that you could start to have side effects months after being on the drug and after your physiology has adapted for a good amount of time. So what I'm suggesting here is if you found side effects after a few days and you stopped the drug after a week, there's not a lot of rapid change really going on in the body in that short amount of time. It's not so sustained that it's going to be harder to get off of the drug and let your physiology try to return to normal. But if you take this medication for months and then you start to realize that you're having trouble and you're having side effects that could be from the medication, now weaning off of it could be harder and your body could go through more withdrawal as a result. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying it is clinically possible. Is that the kind of risk you want to take? Now, let's look at the other side of it. What if you don't take Ozempic and you do have a lot of excess body fat that you need to get rid of? Well, remember, over 99% of people, if they tackle weight management right, and I do mean right, I mean with a clinical program, with an exercise program that's actually designed for you, not something that's designed for the masses. Okay, not something that's just supposed to make general people feel good about exercise, but something that's actually therapeutic. And if you have the right meal plan that's actually therapeutic for your body and that's being tweaked and that's progressing with you, if you have those, you're 99% or more likely to be able to lose the body fat. People who don't, and I know most people who embark on weight loss don't actually lose all that much body fat for very long, but it's because they don't engage the levels of science necessary to achieve that weight loss and the subsequent weight management. So when you think about it, and again, I'm not pressuring anybody either way here, but what I would suggest is that why would you want to take a drug that you know could at least be harmful to your body when you can do this naturally? And of course, this does call into question a few other things, right? If you're a very busy parent, for example, or you have a high-powered position at your job and you just have no time and that you need the job, the job isn't something you're going to consider leaving. And or maybe if you're a parent, of course, there's nothing you can change there. So if you have the kind of lifestyle where you're working 6 days a week and you are burned out and you've got a lot of other physical ailments going on as well, then I can see the argument for why you may want to take a drug like this, or at least dabble in it, to get some body fat off. My concern is, what if this drug leads to some side effects for you, that as time goes on, you end up now having two problems. You still have a lot of the obesity, and now on top of it, we've got some of the chemical issues that are brought on to your body from this drug. And so that's where I think you really have to pick and choose. There's also the concern, I know, for a lot of people, finding motivation is very difficult, and finding the right guidance and getting a coach. Hiring a coach is not cheap. So you might have the financial limitations as well that make you say, I'm pretty aware that I'm going to hold on to this weight for many more years despite my best efforts, because I can't really go find the right coach, can't really make the time to really engage in weight loss in a proper way. And so maybe the drug is worth the risk. And it might be. Again, I would just consider that although the risks are usually considered to be pretty low, that you're putting a foreign agent in your body. And then when you do that, certainly you're in somewhat uncharted territory, because no matter how well we've studied a drug like this or any drug, at the end of the day, your body is going to be unique from everybody else's, and you don't really know what kinds of problems that could bring on for you in the long run. So please consider everything from your financial and time situations to your own current psychology and your threshold for change, and what you can really see yourself getting into, and also how much regret you might feel if you do or don't decide to utilize this drug. If you're going to look back 5 years from now and be even bigger and less healthy, you might very well look back and think, geez, I should have tried Ozempic. Maybe this was the way to go. Maybe I should have dabbled in it for a while to see what it could do for me. On the other hand, I think there's a very good chance that you could try the drug for a while and ultimately just wish that you hadn't done so. So anyway, guys, listen, I've got a 10-question questionnaire that you can click on in the description. And this is going to give you the opportunity to take this little quiz and see if your own weight loss strategies and methods are likely to be effective for you, or if I don't feel that clinically you're going to be using your time in a really effective way to get the weight off. Now, if you'd like, when you take the quiz, you can also leave your contact information and I can get back in touch with you so we can chat a little bit as well about the way you answered the quiz questions. So guys, I hope this video has been helpful. I look forward to your long-term health and wellness success. And please don't forget to subscribe and like the video as well. I'll see you in the next one.